about how to use vision boards to make you rich today. Excited, honey?
Excited for today. Looks like we're dressed alike as well, so
Yeah.
it actually wasn't planned, but
No. we had a busy
yes,
morning.
exactly. So no, that's a good sign. So we can just excited to be able to go over this, some of the things that we've done and continue to
Yes.
do to be successful in what we're doing. So it's exciting.
Yes. Hello. Hi, Danielle. I see you guys. Okay. So for today's live stream, we're going to go through 3 points, actual practical points. They're going to help you become rich, but we're going to do it the fun, feminine energy way. And we are doing it with vision boards. So, and what really inspired this live stream for today is, we're wrapping up the end of the year. If you're watching the replay, it's 2024.
Yes.
And we've had such a crazy quantum leap year that's happened this year, you guys. And okay, we're going to break it down. It's crazy. Like getting married,
Yes.
changing businesses, moving to a new country.
Yes.
We did all of that this year. And everything that was on my vision board manifested into reality this year. So we want to share just some tips and some things that we've had to change in doing our vision boards. And this is going to help you so much manifest your dreams and your desires and your, the things that God has called you to do. Those dreams and those desires that are in your heart, God has put there for a reason. So we want to help you do that. Yes. So let us know in the comment right now in the comments how you guys are doing. Are you with us?
And it'll be exciting because not only is it so important to keep this stuff in front of you, right, having the vision board, but to just continue to revisit it, right? Because a lot of times what can happen is we'll start the year off with the vision board. We're so excited. And then life starts happening. And things start changing. But we have to always remember that which God has told us at the beginning of the year or the beginning of the month, whenever that vision board got started, and to stay on track no matter what's going on around us.
Yes, exactly, honey. And so before we get into the 3 points of how to make your vision board work and how you can use your vision board to make you rich, let's talk about why vision boards are even important. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's like just fluff. It's just about positive thinking. Then you just sit on your couch and you just manifest, or you like go pray to the moon and all this stuff. We're not talking about that. Okay. We're talking about like looking how God has actually, the power he's actually given us to create our reality, with the words that we speak, the emotions that we are embodied in, and the aligned action that we take. You manifest your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. A lot of people think like, oh, that's like woo woo. No, babe. Like you manifest your reality, whether you are consciously aware of it or you're not. So once you awaken to this and you realize that the power that you have, once you realize what you're looking at, what you're listening to, how you're behaving, how you see the world, that's what keeps those patterns going or manifest new patterns. Once you awaken to that, then you can take your power back and create a totally different reality for yourself. Okay. And so especially for my single mamas, okay, this is where I really dialed this in was last year. Because I'm like, I want to have a different reality. I don't want to live in this reality anymore. I was in a cold country, a small town. I was not dating or married to my amazing husband and the most amazing bonus dad to our 4 kids. I was working so hard in my business. I was tired and I wanted to do things differently, right? And as you know, if you're a single mom, there's only so much you can do in your own strength. Right? So I had to learn how to really, truly leverage the quantum realm, the unseen part of this world, and use that to really manifest the things that I wanted and I desired. So what's your take on vision boards as a man, first of all?
No,
I'm curious.
It's so interesting. Vision boards have really played a big role in my life as an adult, right? Because a lot of times as men, we'll sit and think about stuff. We'll sit and plan stuff. But as far as actually taking time out to write stuff down, to put stuff on the board, a physical board, right? We usually don't go through that process because we'd rather just make it happen, right? And what I've seen, the difference that I've seen is actually writing it down, putting it on a board makes such a difference because, and I'll go into it a little bit, but for one, how it works for me and for most men, when we start doing that, now it's like the action part of it, right?
Yes.
It's we're
Yeah.
putting action to it instead of just thinking about it. And it does something different in our life because uh, I always have it in front of me. I'm able to refer back to it. And even when I'm going through the process of doing the board, so many things come up, right? You know, when you're putting the board together, it's like, okay, maybe this is the type of house, this is a type of business.
Yeah.
And then you start getting ideas. So it sparks your mind as you're going through the process. And maybe what you desire, what God is showing you, is even bigger than what you saw in your head, right?
Oh,
So
of course. Yeah.
putting it down allows us to see things bigger and better the way God sees it, because in our mind, we only use logic, right? But when we do the
Yes.
board, logic goes out the door. We see pictures like, okay, this picture is better than what I even saw in my head. So it's just good to start that process because it allows me and a lot of men that I've talked to and
Yeah.
dealt with, it allows us to take things to the next level through it, right?
And a lot more men are doing vision boards now because you can't deny how powerful they are. So let's jump into the 3 ways that you can use a vision board to really manifest your desires and to make you more rich. And shout out to It's 10 over here. She asked, should you make a new vision board if your old one, the things on it hasn't come true yet? That's a really good question. I'm going to answer that question, okay? Because one thing that we do is we constantly are updating our vision boards. So let's just backtrack for a moment. Write this down. These are 3 things that are going to help you so much, okay? And the reason why vision boards work so much, not only are you're really connected with the quantum realm to leverage that so you're not having to effort and put all this work in yourself and your own strength, because you can only do so much in your own strength. You only have so much time. That part's important, but also from a neuroscience point of view, let's talk about that. So neurologically, your nervous system has been programmed to your current reality. So your nervous system's job is to keep you safe. It's to keep you in the familiar. And anytime your nervous system, you start, maybe you want to work out, maybe you want to make more money, you want to start dating again, you want to, there's all these different things you want to do, have a dream business, move. Those things feel very unfamiliar to your nervous system. So your nervous system will keep pushing it away. Okay. So by having it in the forefront of your mind all the time, like, you know that saying, out of sight, out of mind, that's what happens. But when you keep your vision board, and not just like your actual vision board, but you want to have like a 5D vision board where you are including smells and touches and things around your house and in your car and in your room. That's all your vision board. Whether you realize it or not, that's your vision board. And what happens is, if you're only looking at the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're watching the same thing on social media, on your algorithm, that's your vision board, okay? The music you're listening to, the people you're talking to, your friends, your family, that's your vision board, babe. And so if you're constantly just looking at the same thing all the time, you're going to keep recreating that reality. So having a vision board that is new and is different and challenges you, it's actually going to expand your consciousness. And the more you're looking at, the more you're familiarizing it in your nervous system. This is something that I teach my girls how to do in the Feminine Energy Academy. It becomes normal in your nervous system so that you're not going to self-sabotage and push it away anymore. Okay?
And I love when you talk about the science behind it, right? Because I think we all can relate to, as we start seeing things and putting things in front of us, we see it everywhere we go, and it stays at the top of our mind. It could be that car, that red SUV that you may want, or it could be that house. It could be an outfit. It could be a business. You start
be the husband.
The husband. Or
the ring,
wife,
ladies, the ring.
Yes, you start seeing it everywhere you go. It's like at first you didn't know it existed, and now you see it everywhere you go. So just a vision board, having that in front of you, it changes your reality because that becomes a part of your daily life. And like you said, you can choose to put down what you desire and what God has for you, or you can just continue living and that becomes your vision board. So it's really taking control and making sure that what's on your vision board is what you desire and what you want in your life.
Yes, exactly. And what's up, Natural Beauty? I see you, girl.
Yes.
Okay, so point number one, we're basically talking about
Yes.
point number one. So point number one is having clarity.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it is so, so important you have clarity on your vision board. So for a lot of people, and I used to be like this too, you're like, I want to be rich. I want to, make $1 million this year. I want to quit my job. I want a husband. So many women walk around saying, I want a husband. I want a husband. Where are the men? Where are the men? Right? Like stuff like that.
Exactly.
But you need to be so clear, so crystal clear in your thinking. And you need to program into your mind exactly what it is you're calling in. So you're not just calling in a provider energy husband. What type of provider energy husband? What does your life look like? What does your life feel like? Like, girls, on my vision board, I knew exactly this. I mean, this was January. Okay. So I had on there, of course, a bunch of rings on there, rings that I wanted, like the size that I wanted on my ring. My ring ended up being bigger than the one on my vision board, right? We're going to leave room for God to do exceedingly abundantly above. But I know my vision board was plastered with rings. My vision board was plastered with homes in, a really nice climate that I wanted to move to, which is now where we live. My vision board was plastered with the type of people I wanted to work with in my business, on how I looked, how I feel. Every year, whatever my main focus was for that year, I was like really, really dialed in. So a few years ago, when I was on my healing journey, physically and mentally and emotionally, this is like 2020-ish, my only focus was I want to look and feel better. Like I was definitely not thinking about dating or marriage. I was not thinking about even my business really. I was like maybe a little bit, but I wasn't taking it too serious. I was really just focused on, I want to look and feel better because I was a mess a few years ago. Okay. And so that happened. And then then the next year I was really starting to focus on relationships where I was ready to call in my husband, and so I started having more pictures like that on my vision board. And then that's when I really wanted to move also for me and my kids. I even had pictures on there. This is so crazy, you guys. I had pictures on there of the type of dad that I wanted for my kids. So I actually had pictures on there of like this guy like playing basketball with these little kids.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really crazy because he's a basketball coach.
Exactly.
And I know, it's so funny. But just like literally like how I wanted to dress, how I wanted to look, the type of places I wanted to go travel to.
Yes.
And I've gone to all those places. But the thing is, like, you have to keep it so crystal clear what it is that you want and what you believe you can have.
Yes. And I love it because as we're talking about the clarity and talking about being super specific and believing what you desire, that you can have it, is so important not to be all over the place, right?
Yes.
You don't want to be, okay, I want to start a business next week, and then the following week I want to start this other business. It's really being specific, because a vision board isn't something that you just have to do yearly, right? So make sure it's goals that you hit before you continue to add, because it's certain levels and ways God works, right? Certain things have to be done before we can do the next things at times. So being specific, not being all over the place, and things that you believe that you can have, right? It's important to do it. Otherwise, you're just putting up a bunch of pictures and you're looking at it like somebody else can get that, but that's not for me, but it's nice to look at, right? So being specific, having clarity, and really putting down things that are specific to what you desire to do right now is important.
That's so good, honey. What you said about you have to believe that you can actually receive it. That is where a lot of people get tripped up. So you might have done vision boards, but deep down, do you really believe that you can have this? Do you really believe that you're worthy to receive it? Do you really believe that it's possible for you? Because if you don't, you can have all the clarity. This is part of having the clarity, is you becoming the match, you becoming the energetic match for what it is that you're calling in. So if, just as an example, you're wanting to call in this dream business, this lifestyle business where you get paid to exist. You have multiple income streams. This is, the life that we live now. You have to become a match to that, right? And that's the stuff that I teach my girls how to do. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But you really have to ask yourself, do I believe I can actually have this? You don't have to figure out the how, but do you believe that you can actually have it? Do you believe that you're worthy to receive it? Do you believe that you're worthy to receive the husband? Because if you are, today's not really supposed to be about relationships, it's supposed to be about money, but I'm going to throw this in here because I know the women that I attract, we want it all. We want to look good. We want the husband and we want the fat bank account. All right. So the big thing is that this is what I see a lot of women do. They're like, oh, I want a guy. I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. I want him to be, great character. I want him to be a man of God. I want him to be faithful. I want him to, make, minimum a few $100,000 a year, whatever your desires are, right? And it's like, okay, well then what type of woman does that man want? And you got to ask yourself, are you her?
Yes.
Right? Because it's one thing to call in that type of husband, but you got to ask yourself, are you the reciprocal match for that? Same with your dream clients. You want to have amazing clients like I have. I have the best community on the planet. Shout out to my Feminine Energy Academy.
All the ladies in here now.
Right? We have over 500 women between two of our communities, right? And that's not including private clients, right? And I swear, like, they're the most amazing people I've ever met. And it's like, but I had to really be clear on that. And I had to become the reciprocal match for that, right? So it doesn't just happen. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, okay. You're going. Okay. I'm taking mental notes.
Good. Okay, so point number 2. This is oh my gosh, we're going through this right now too. And you have to keep going through this. And that is, you need to stay detached from the outcome. So you're like, what do you mean, Natasha? Like, you're talking about being super clear on what you're calling in, but then you want me to be so detached. Yes, you need both. You need to be super detached from the how, right? You're detached from the how. And the reason why this is so important, babe, especially when you're calling in a new business, new money flow, or a husband, okay, that your dream husband, or you're planning on moving, is because it's not going to happen the way you think.
No.
Okay. And if you are so fixated on the how or the when, or it needs to look like this, you're going to actually create resistance energy from what it is that you're calling in. And just as an example of this, okay, like, we're very blessed. We're very fortunate. We've been practicing this for a while. So we've had a lot of business growth this year, and, super thankful for that. But it did not happen the way we thought it was going to happen. Okay.
Not at all.
And you're going to have moments where you're like, okay, I'm going to call this in. I'm calling in this cash flow. I'm calling in this business. I'm calling in this lifestyle where I get paid to exist. And then all of a sudden, you lose your job, or your business, something happens in your business and it turns upside down. And you think all these bad things are happening, but no, nothing bad is happening, babe. What's actually happening is the space is being cleared so that you can receive your desires.
No, that's so good, because even for us, as an example, you didn't go into it, but earlier this year, we were realigning our business. And we got together, we prayed about it. We did 30 days of prayer. Day 1, things just flipped upside down in the business. Day one. Things flipped upside down in the business. And then at that point, we had a decision to make.
Well, and just to be honest with you guys, like, we lost $32,000. $32,000. Okay, like the day after, we're like, okay, God, we surrender everything to you. We're realigning our business. But this is just one of our businesses, but and just like one of the accounts gets cleared out. And so, like, we're freaking out. Okay.
Like, we're trying to figure out, like, wait a minute, what's happening? But when we had that clarity on what we desired to do, right? And then we stepped into it, then God started moving things around, because he's looking at the bigger picture. So we weren't attached. At that moment, we made a decision not to be attached to the how, right? But to be attached to the outcome. And from that day moving forward, we made that money back plus much more.
Even within that week, everything, so many good things happened.
Like, so much happened so quickly. It was like, for maybe a week, we were kind of in our own
praying. We did not miss any prayer sessions, let me tell you.
But we didn't miss a meal either, right? The kids ate.
We were fine.
We were still, everything was done. But things change when you have clarity, right? God begins to move on your behalf when you have that clarity and step out and you're not attached to the how. That was the biggest thing.
You can't be attached.
Being not attached to the how, and the outcome is going to be the desired outcome if you stay the course.
Exactly. And Gray Light, Shout out to you. Thank you so much. I said good evening to both of you. Massive respect and admiration for your collective and individual growth. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. You know, a lot of you guys have been watching my journey for the last few years, right? Like you've seen the raw and real of me like transforming on social media before he came into the picture, now that he's here, and now this amazing life we get to live. So you guys have seen this. Also, the reason why I wanted to touch on detaching is because this is just the area that people get so tripped up on, right? Like just as an example too, you really have to be careful where you're building your identity, because even for me, like I've been doing social media for a few years now, and if my identity was based on, you know, just TikTok or just YouTube or just Amazon or some of the other things that I was doing before, or, you know, the things that you were attached to before, you know, when those things change, you're going to feel like your whole world is falling apart. And, you know, just as an example, you know, TikTok is going away, right? So I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I'm totally detached from how it's going to happen. Another thing too, right now, where we're going through this right now, like just being super honest with you guys, is our YouTube just got demonetized just because we have to verify a code. I'm Canadian, so they want it to go to my Canadian address, and the Canadian postal company or whatever the postal service
is on strike or something.
They're on strike. So the Canadian postal service is on strike, and my YouTube verification code is in the mail. So YouTube has suppressed our content, right? So we were having massive growth on YouTube, and all of a sudden now they're like suppressing our content. But you know what? We still show up. Right. And so the reason I want to share that with you is because I know what it feels like when you're like, I'm doing this. I have this dream in my heart. I have this vision in my heart. I am believing for this lifestyle. I'm believing for a better lifestyle for my family. Right. That was the big thing for me, is for my kids and for my family, and, you know, wanting to retire my mom and wanting to live this beautiful lifestyle. But things happen, right? And if I'm so attached to, oh my gosh, I'm getting my income from YouTube, or I'm getting my income from TikTok, or I'm getting my income from this certain client, you know, if things change, you're going to be a mess, right? So your source is never any of these platforms. Your source is not even your husband. You know, I do teach you girls to call and provide our energy husbands, but even he cannot be your source. Your boss is not your source. Your clients, even if they're amazing, I have the most amazing clients, communities, your customers, Amazon, you know, whatever it is that you're doing right now, they are not your source. Only God is your source. And when you stay in that energy and that mentality of God is my divine masculine, he is my source, it allows you to detach from all these different vehicles and all these different platforms of how they can bring you in income. Is this making sense? Let's check in with you guys. That's on point. Okay, what does that say? That's on point. The situation I'm in right now. Lost my job, my car, my house, my wife. I don't know how to get out of this. Yeah, you know what? When you're going through stuff, it's so important. This is a great opportunity to create a new vision for yourself.
Definitely. And that's what happens too. A lot of times I've worked jobs in the past, and great jobs. And what's happened is I never saw I could never get to the point where I wanted to leave. Well, I could leave, right? I wanted to leave, but the money was good. It was real comfortable. And here comes God with an opportunity for me to step outside of that job. I may lose my job. The hours may go down. Maybe the commission's not the same. And then we begin to open up. So a lot of times when this happens, it's not that God is coming to punish us or anything like that. But what it gives us an opportunity to see outside of our bubble. Right.
So good.
So we can step into these different areas that our hearts desire. Right. I always wanted to get into coaching, to training, to things like that. But I was so caught up on jobs that were making so much money, starting different businesses, that God had to allow some of the things to clear so I can focus on that. Now I'm able to do the coaching, but still do the business side of things. Right. It was just my focus was on the wrong thing, and God allowed me to realign my focus, and nothing was lost through the process. So definitely look at these times as opportunities for you to step into those things God may have put into your heart, and nothing will be lost during that. God will continue to provide for you, but he'll he'll allow the things that's in your heart that you desire to do to come to pass if you just stay the course and trust. Right?
Exactly. It's even more important. Actually, in my experience working with so many different people, it's when people are comfortable, like they have good jobs or they have good businesses. And I've even done this even before he came into the picture too, where you have good income streams or like decent income streams. It actually prevents you from fully stepping out into your next level and like transcending to your next level because you're comfortable, right? The people that have had the biggest breakthroughs with the people I've worked with and in even our own life is when you don't have a plan B. Like when you don't have a plan B, then you're fully surrendered. Like you have to detach. Like you don't have a choice. You're like, God, this is too big for me. Like I don't know how this is going to happen, but I trust you. Which brings me to point number 3, which is just as important, is you do have to take your line to action. Like you can't just sit on the couch, okay, and just pray to God. But with point number 3, it's you actually have to skill up. You have to skill up. You need to sharpen your skills. Okay, especially if you're calling in higher cash months, you're calling in a different type of business. Maybe you do make decent money, but you're burnt out, you're exhausted, and you don't see your family. No, we're talking about how do you live a life where, like how we're living right now. It's Monday. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. We're doing our live stream, and then we're going to go hang out with some NBA basketball players later on today with the kids. The kids are homeschooling, they online school. We're going to go work out later, and we still make money 24/7 on autopilot. Right. And so that's the type of life. If that's the type of life you're calling in, baby girl and guys and whoever's watching right now, you got to skill up. Right? Do your skills match your vision board? Ask yourself that. Do your skills match your vision board? And if they don't beat yourself up. But this is an opportunity for you to skill up.
No, that's so good. And skilling up looks a lot of different ways, right? But it's so important. Sometimes you may have to invest, right? You may have to invest your money, your time, and sometimes and I'm seeing this as a situation, right? I've been involved in coaching for years, maybe 15 years plus, and I've had people that wanted to get involved in it. So I'll give them the code. I'll give them the cheat code to get involved. And one thing I heard that they didn't understand, it was a guy who played college basketball, he played professional ball, but he didn't have any experience in coaching. And I told him, okay, let's start off. You may have to volunteer. You may have to just come and hang around. Even though you were a great player, this is a different field, and you can't just come in and move straight to the top, right? You have to kind of, you have to do a few things before you get there. He wasn't willing to do those things, and to this day, he's still not coaching, right? He's working a job that, he's making good money, but it's not the type of job that he wanted to do. But you have to be willing to sacrifice. And sometimes, even though you have the skill set, even though you have all the knowledge, you still have to go through the process, skill up, maybe sit behind someone, wait until God opens that door for you, and then you can burst through it.
Yeah, you got to stay ready. Yes. You got to stay ready. Like if this is one thing I ask my girls, and you're calling in that dream business or you're calling in the husband right now, right? Okay. So say you got that today or tomorrow. Say tomorrow you wake up and you have that thing that you're calling in on your vision board. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Yeah. Feel the emotions that come up when you think about, oh my gosh, this is what I did for myself, okay? Because I kept pushing off the dating thing too. And it wasn't until I stopped and was like, okay, if he was here now, how would I feel? And right away I was like, oh, I don't feel ready. Oh, I don't feel ready. Oh, what about the kids? What about the house? Like, blah, blah, blah. And so what I did is like, okay, I need to shift this. So I started getting my house ready. Not to say he was going to move in with us, but I wanted to be in that energy of I'm a wife, right? Like my husband is coming home. So I started, this was back before we moved here, but I started getting that energy of preparing my home, right? Same thing with, getting the kids ready for preparing them to receive their new stepdad and, all the stuff that they had been through. I needed to get them ready. So I started doing that before he came into the picture, before I knew who my husband was going to be. I was in the energy of preparing for it. And that required skills, right? Like, there's a lot of skills that need to happen when you're calling in, a healthy marriage and a really high quality masculine energy man, you as a woman need to be skilled. You need to know how men think. You need to know how men, what they need, stuff that they don't even know about themselves, right? That's what makes you a really good wife, right? And then so same with business, right? If your dream clients, like all of a sudden you got flooded with your dream clients, they're DMing you, they're wanting to buy your products, what emotions come up for you? Are you ready for that? Right? Are you ready to be like, okay, someone's like, come speak at this event. Are you ready? Are you ready to be on social media and show up and build that audience and build trust with people live, unedited like this right now, right? Are you ready for that? These are the feelings. These are the things that you need to work through and skill up in so that the opportunity will come, babe. You build it, they will come.
And we go so much deeper into this in the Feminine Energy Academy. We're actually going to get together the last Saturday of this month and do our vision board with the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. So make sure you jump in, $39 a month, cancel anytime. Links in the bio. But it's so important too, because some people could say like, I used to have a business, so I know how to run a business. I just need the money. I just need the time, whatever the case is. But one thing we always have to look at, right? No matter what happened in the past, if this is something that you're looking to start fresh with, the skilling up is so important, because not only do you just want to use the old experience, things are changing daily. I mean, we're seeing that in our business, right? Things are changing daily with AI, with just with algorithms, just with everything. So no matter what you've done in the past, you want to skill up to the present to see what's going on right now. And something that happened in the past caused you to no longer have that business, right? So you want to make sure you continue to skill up, not just when starting, but when you're in your business, when you're in, when you're doing that thing that you love and desire. Always stay ahead of the curve by continuing to skill up. So I love that third point.
Yeah, so good. It's something that we both work on all the time, individually and together. You want to skill up with your health and your body, right? You want to be aging in reverse. That requires some skill, right? So you're not burning yourself out. That requires skill. You want to skill up in your dating and your marriage life and who you're calling in as a husband, but also to maintain a healthy, happy marriage and partnership, right? You want to skill up in your business. Maybe you're stuck making only a few $1,000s a month and you want to hit 30K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. And beyond that, that requires skill. By the way, we have the Cash Flow Queens program now. That is it's my insider mentorship program within the Feminine Energy Academy for the girls that want to skill up in the area of their business. They want to hit 10K months, 50K months, 100K months and above, but they want to do it the feminine energy way where they're not burning themselves out. They want to learn the systems that we have in our business where we get paid from multiple different places 24/7 on autopilot, right? This is just normal for us where we can travel around, do whatever the heck we want. And it doesn't matter if it's physical products or digital products because we do both. And that entire program is really focused on helping you launch that or go to that next level in your business, right? So also, okay, let's answer some of your girls' questions. And I love what you said that, honey, just so you know, in the Feminine Energy Academy, yes, we are going to be doing a vision casting, vision board, planning for 2025 together in the Feminine Energy Academy. So if you want to see how we vision board, and I call it energetic vision boarding. So it's not just putting pictures on there. I actually help you shift your energy so you become the energetic match to what it is that you're calling it. That's how we vision board. And that's why this year we were able to manifest everything on the vision board. All right. So questions. Do you help with e-commerce? Yes, I do. So in the feminine, so you don't actually have to be in the Feminine Energy Academy for this, but in there, I do have a program called the Cash Flow Queens. So the Cash Flow Queens is my mentorship program in there where I teach you girls the actual energetics and the systems around e-commerce. So I have girls in there that are professors, that are doctors, that are stay-home moms, that are homeschooling moms, that already have businesses, physical products or digital products, and they want to scale it, but they want to learn how to, first of all, they want to understand the energetics. A lot of them have, money blocks and sales blocks, things that they need to release first. And then the actual practical strategies around AI, around automation, around sales, around all of that. So that's all you can message me after this. You can jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. And when you're in the Feminine Energy Academy, you actually get the Cashflow Queens mentorship program on discount.
Yes. So definitely jump in there.
Yeah.
You can DM us as soon as you jump in. Let us know why you're there. And we'll guide you specifically if you're looking at the Cashflow Queens. It's discounted at about 20% for members that are in the Feminine Energy Academy.
And it's lifetime access as well. So the women that we attract into our programs, they are working on all three areas. So for most people on your vision board, you probably have your dream body, right? You probably have your dream relationship, and you probably have nice cars and houses and maybe charities you want to support, places you want to travel to. Maybe it's people you want to retire, right? That's typically what most people have on their vision board. So in the Feminine Energy Academy, we actually help you in all three areas at the same time. So we have a whole section that's dedicated to body and weight loss and hormones, getting your hormones on point. So if you have like PCOS, you have other hormone issues, perimenopause, you just want to lose belly weight, right? You want to look good on camera again. You want to feel confident, right? We got a section in there for you for that.
Cortisol issues.
Yeah, cortisol issues, stress issues, which is a lot of business owners, right? I have a cortisol detox program in there as well. So you can work on that while you're working on your business or while you're dating again. We have another section in there that is all divine dating and marriage. And I teach you rotationally dating for marriage. That's how I called him my amazing husband. Marriage rehab. So maybe your marriage is on the rocks and you want to spice things up a bit. There's a section in there for that. And then we have an entire money section where it's called the Relaxed Money Magnet section. So I actually walk you through nervous system re-regulating in the area of money. So whatever it is that you're calling in on your vision board, then you can actually receive it. You're not going to self-sabotage it and block it. My husband is amazing, girl. I love that for you. We have a lot of women in there that have amazing marriages and amazing husbands as well. But they want to look good. They want to feel good. They feel like they've lost themselves. They're stressed out. They got hormone issues, or they're just ready to launch their business.
And that's the good thing about it, right? The Feminine Energy Academy really helps you deal with yourself in these different areas, right? It's always you doing what you need to do, and the outside matches up to it, right? You get the reciprocal energy based on who you are and who you become. So that's what I love about it, that no matter if you have a great husband like you do, or if you're in a tough relationship, you still get so much value because you're dealing with yourself, right?
Exactly. Everything in your reality right now is mirroring you. Everything. You don't have relationship issues. You don't have weight or hormone issues. You don't have money issues. It's something in you, babe. And once we shift that in you, everyone around you will mirror that back to you. So the man in your life or the men in your life, the job, the business, the money flow, the clients, even your kids, right? Your body, your hormones, it's all just mirroring back you, what's going on in you, babe, which is a great thing, because when you take your power back and you do some of the shifting that I teach you girls how to do, your entire reality starts to shift. And we see that every day with the girls in our program.
The first week, the first day, we're getting testimonies. They jump in and money starts appearing in their account. They start losing weight. Just so much. They start dating after 3 years. Like women that haven't dated in years now have aligned themselves and their energy, and now they're just attracting men out of nowhere. So it's just, we see these testimonies daily, right? So shout out to all the ladies that are on here. Tisa, Liz, Christy, I'm sure they're on. But just shout out to those ladies.
Yes, exactly. Awesome. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions at all around anything that we're talking about today? So to summarize, for your vision board, 3 things so important is you want to be so crystal clear on what it is that you're calling in, right? And that also means becoming an energetic match to the thing that you're calling in, right? Number 2 is you are detached from the how. You are not, I promise you, babe, whatever it is that you're calling in, it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. Okay. So stay stay super open to all the different ways that God can bring that into your reality. Even scripture says in Psalms 37, right? Delight yourself in the Lord, and then he brings you the desires of your heart. Meaning that your job is to have fun. Your job is to be in enjoyment. Your job is to not worry about how it's going to happen. And he brings it to you. Okay. You still have to take that messy aligned action, but your job is to stay so detached from the how and stay so open to the different coaches, the different mentors, the different programs that come into your life, different strategies on how you can do it so you can do it better and easier. And then number 3, what was number 3, honey?
Number 3, so we have the
I was like, I had to think about that. That's why I was trying to you. Number 3 is skilling up.
Yeah, skilling up.
Skilling up, babe. Like every day you are skilling up. Like you are obsessed, in a healthy way, of course, on skilling up. This is what's going to separate you when everyone is like half asleep, sleepwalking, scrolling on social media 6 hours a day. That's the statistics right now.
Wow.
Numbing themselves, zoning out, have analysis paralysis, procrastination, all that stuff. These are things we heal, by the way, in the Feminine Energy Academy. The girls in our programs are skilling up. They're skilling up in their bodies. They're skilling up in how they look. They're skilling up in their dating and their marriages, and they're skilling up in their money flow in their businesses, right? They are staying ahead of the game, and that's just what we do. Yes.
So let's see if we have any more questions that we can answer. Again, if we don't answer your questions here, just ask us. Join the Feminine Energy Academy. Drop us a question in our DMs, or you can put it in the community where the other ladies in the community can help answer it as well, but we'll get to it ourselves. So any questions?
Someone's asking, why aren't I looking at the camera over here? Because we're live streaming on multiple platforms. That's why. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you can sign up there. We will see you in the Feminine Energy Academy. We love you girls so much. Just be so intentional. How do you want to end this year? Even if this year has not been the way you wanted it to go, how do you want to end this year? Right? You have what, 2 more weeks left, babe?
Yeah.
2 more weeks. And let me tell you girls, okay, for any single moms out here, when I became super intentional on my New Year's and the energy I wanted to bring into the new year, that year completely changed. Completely changed. So the energy that you end this year with and the energy that you start the new year with matters so much, babe. Okay. So if you need help, you need that loving help, practical help, the actual skills. Maybe there's some healing. Maybe there's some stuff you need to let go of. Maybe you have some money blocks. Maybe you have some receiving love blocks. Maybe you're struggling in your body and just how you're feeling, babe. Get yourself into our programs because we lovingly help you and walk you through this. So you don't need to figure it out on your own. I know what that feels like to be a single mom with 4 little kids and so frustrated with my life. This is why we do this for you. Okay, so jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. We love you girls so much. And on Wednesday, I'll be talking about some health stuff. And then on Friday, you have Coach B, Ask a Man, answering man questions.
Answering all questions, relationship or just thought process. Anything you have will be there Friday for you. So see you Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday and Friday for Ask a Man.
All right, we'll see you guys.